what it is. I can't tell if it's just the light quality. Hi, Fatal. Hi. How are you? What's going on? I sprayed a shit ton of body mist. I needed like some aromatherapy. So my room, oh, it's smelling like vanilla. It's smelling like a Victoria's Secret model. I'm all flowers. Yeah, I guess I am. I felt the need to be, I mean, I'm kind of always dressed down, but I felt the need to be like extra soft today. Hi, Jason. Hi, Matthew. How am I? I'm good. You know, overall, I'm really good. I'm in new territory, let's put it like that, but it's good. S-bomb. Yo, I never know if I can swear on here. I'm always like, but what if I offend the Catholics? What if I do? Cocoa Puffs together? No. I'm not a fan of cinnamon and chocolate together. I just, Mexican hot chocolate. Or like chili chocolate. This chocolate would taste so much better if it didn't have this extra stuff in it. Hi, Alex. Hey, Will. Hi, Max and Misty. Hey. Is it springtime yet? Sure. Let's say it is. Why not? Sure. Look, spring. One bowl of each. I'm sorry, what? So you're like, wait, so how, I just want to know your process. You're like, or are you like, and then, are you like, which is it? Or maybe there's like some combination I'm not considering. Hey, Adam. That sounds chaotic. I feel like I have tired eyes lately, but let's just say that's not true. That's not the case. It's in your head. I'm really excited for this one, but I want to know how y'all are doing. So what's going on? I have like some jazzy lo-fi in the background. I wish I had an electric guitar. I wish I was like, sorry, what's this? I wish I was like one of those guys with like hair in my face that just like noodle a riff for hours in their bedrooms, you know? Don't we all want to be that guy? Except for the guy that is that guy, he like wants to be anyone else. Oh no, your cat. There was another cat that we were talking about. It's not your cat that we, what was that cat's name? Did you find them? I really want to get a kitten. What was that? So like, cool. Do you drink the milk? Do you blend the milk? See, so many combinations. He came home. They always come home. Is he an outdoor cat? I'm a firm. I like my cats outdoor. I just think that's how it's supposed to be. I'm really glad. That must have been stressful. Yeah, I think I have been like putting off getting a kitten forever. Cause I go like, well, what if I have a sudden life change? And I cannot care for this cat in the way that I would wish to. But a kitten. And I know the kitten becomes a cat. I'm also like very, very, I do not like all cats. I'm sorry. I don't like them all. A lot of them are weird and like kind of loopy, and I don't know what's going on over there. I feel like they've been indoors too long, honestly. I feel like they have cabin fever. That's probably what it is. There's some cats and you're like, oh, you need to get outside and stretch your legs because you're no longer a cat. That's the problem. So some cats, so like I need a cat that is like I need a good one. Okay? Don't give me your weird cats. I need like, you know, a king of cats. a Thomas O'Malley. You prefer dogs. I mean, same is true for dogs. There's some dogs I'm like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Or it's not enough. I need like just the right amount of affection and loyalty. It's too much. It's too much. You love that. My sister did that. It used to be somewhere else and it would always fall, so it doesn't have a home right now. It's just like blocking my closet, preventing me from going in there and pulling out nicer clothes. Hey Andres, how are you? Really? What's his name? Yeah, what's his name? I do writing? Yeah. I write a lot of scripts. And that's probably like my favorite mode. And it's really good. So like I started writing plays when I was younger, and then I moved on to like screenplays, and I know that's like non-original. Oh, everyone's working on a screenplay. But whatever. That's what I do. So I write a lot of scripts. You know, and I'm still like in a learning process, but I'm really good at dialogue, right? That's what I like. That's why I loved plays so much, is I love those like sparse Shakespearean, like there's no stage direction, just dialogue. So I'm pretty good at that. But then this year specifically, I'm trying to get better at action and I'm trying to get better at prose. So I am writing a fantasy novel. And I'm learning so much, and it's not that hard, but it is a completely different muscle, and it also makes me read in such a different way. Suddenly I I can't just like sit back and enjoy the book on my phone. I'm like, oh, that section was really good. I need to go back and see like how they did that. Or like, oh, I get it. They're setting up like all this tension for what's to come. I see what they're doing. Like, you know, you start to see behind the curtain. So that's what's happening. I'm writing a fantasy novel, and I also want to get better at revising and editing. So my intention, because like in the past, I've just been like, go, go, go. And I don't ever want to look at it again. So my intention with this one is like, I'm gonna make a draft. I'm aiming for 100,000 words, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to really like hone it and shape it. And I don't really have expectations of publishing it because it's my first real book. But I just want to see what happens. It's fun for me. And I want to like bring the fun back in. There's so much pressure. Yeah, I'm working on something. Yeah. Really? Writer's block. So, okay, I don't mean to brag, but like this isn't a braggy thing. I don't get writer's block. Because just write. Like, if you just write, you never have it. So you're just not, just write. Write the bad, terrible idea. And I have to remind myself of that. Like, I make sure I write every day because I know the resistance can kind of build up. So I make sure I write every day, and I always aim for 1,000 words. And it's like, again, it kind of takes some pressure off if you're like, I'm gonna revise, I'm gonna edit. So it's perfectly okay for you to write a section that is like not at all useful. That's nothing that you're just gonna like take right out. But in the writing of it, it's like you start to get those muscles warm, and then ideas start coming in, and it's like, and you start just like trusting yourself more and more in the doing. Yeah, like you literally can't have writer's block if you're writing. So write the bad, terrible thing. Write like something stupid, like what the character is wearing today, or like just random thoughts that they're having, like an just write like something weird and obtuse, or like a random scene that you don't even know where it takes place. Just write like the first idea that comes to you. Yeah, I'm working on a rom-com, and it's collaborative, so meaning like I get to have a bit of say in we're still like working on the script and shaping it, so that is really fun. I can be really nerdy about writing, and it's sometimes like my really logical, like categorical brain wants to take over, and I want to make it into this like beautiful puzzle piece. And then also I think sometimes like my more like intuitive creative side, like, I don't know, it's a balance. I'm still figuring it out. I'm figuring out the balance. Trust with each other. Yeah. Kavita, I'm gonna trust that you have good intentions. Okay. Chavi, is that your cat's name? I think that's really cute. I'm so excited about today's topic. Because I want to, everything I say on here, I'm just like, hey, it's like I'm hosting like a little, like a buffet style like dinner party. And I'm like, look what I made. And if it's useful, take it. If it's not, guess what? There'll be something next week. Okay? So like, take what helps, leave what doesn't. But what I want to offer you is like, I think it's a really exciting idea. And it's something that I've been implementing this week, and it's just really different. So let's see, are we ready to get into it? Oh, we need to settle the cat dog debate. People will be. I mean, we'll never settle it, will we? Um, I'm a cat, but I'm a cat. I like cats, but I like guys who prefer dogs. Is that a thing? Dogs are just a little. Dogs. Okay, this is a me thing. Dogs, like, I feel like they want so much from me. And they want play. They want like constant attention, love, play. I know like people actually love dogs for the opposite, that they feel like, oh, they just give, give, give. I feel like my guilt receptor is triggered, and I'm like, I'm not being a good mom to you. I don't have I don't know if I have that much to give, so dogs make me a little a little nervous, okay? So cats, I'm like, cool, I get you. I get you. Like, you come and you go. And we can just like happily cohabitate together. I kind of like how mean cats are sometimes too. I kind of like that. I'm like, cool. We don't all have to be like so nice to each other. That's nice. If I had like a sassy dog, I feel like if I had like a cat dog, that would be the perfect scenario. A dog who's like, yeah. Is there a breed of dog that's like that? It's just like not impressed. Cats are better. Definitively. Okay. Well, it's decided. Okay. I'm gonna get to the topic. Where do I want to start? Okay, first of all, I just want to start by saying like, hey guys, why don't you just like, why don't you trust that everything you want is already yours? It's already coming. That you're all you need. That you're okay. That you're perfect right now. That this moment is perfect right now. That the way you look is perfect, and like this day is perfect, and everything that transpired this morning or whatever time it is for you, everything that's already happened today was perfect. I don't know if like you caught it, but it all unfolded pretty seamlessly, and your house is perfect, and like your money situation is perfect, and everything actually is working out for you. It's all fine. You can relax. You can like relax and just live your life and enjoy yourself and enjoy being you and enjoy being like the age you are at the job that you have. You can even like enjoy all your like negative qualities. You can just like embrace those and be like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to change. It's perfect. It's all fine. Even like the things I don't like about myself, I don't need to force myself to like, or like the doubts I have about myself, I don't need to stop doubting. The doubts I have about like my enoughness in the world, I don't need to actually like be this like hyper confident person that some people say I need to. Maybe I don't actually need to be that confident. Ooh, that's a bit of like a weight off your shoulders, isn't it? Maybe I don't need to be like obsessed with myself. Maybe I can just be like a healthy normal of like respecting myself. And at times I can be like, what the hell was that? What did I say in that situation? Or I wish I could take that back. And that's all perfect too. Maybe I don't have to like constantly monitor myself, constantly like poke or nudge or adjust myself, or poke or nudge or adjust the situation. And ultimately, like all this comes back to just like, what if I just relax? I just like take a back seat. I don't get so like triggered by what I think this means, that I think it means I'm not gonna get what I want, that I think it means like things aren't going well, that I'm like destined for a life of misery and ineptitude and disappointment. I just take a back seat. I say, nope, it's all working out. Okay. I know you've probably heard that before. I feel like I've definitely heard that before. And it's the most annoying thing in the world, isn't it? When like you're stressed, you're upset, you're like, excuse me, like I understand what you're saying, but I'm over here freaking out. And actually I have been for years. And you're just telling me, yeah, you like all those years you spent trying so hard, that was like kind of pointless, and you were doing it wrong, and you're doing it wrong right now, and you need to just like stop it. It's not really helpful, or it's like telling someone, hey, relax. And I don't know about you, but I never relax when someone's like that to me. You need to take a breath, okay? So I want to offer something else. That like hypervigilance almost, that like desire to do, to achieve, to change, to make things happen. Okay, all of that isn't a bad thing. And what if, okay, just stay with me for like this hour. Okay, we're all gonna pretend that like we're alchemists. And we're gonna like distill down everything to like our most essential, like its most base element. Okay, so all that tension even, and that stress and that emotion and that upset and that fear and that anger and that angst and that worry and that blah blah blah. Cool, it's all viable energy that like maybe we want to capture in a like solar panel, because that's good. It's just energy, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Energy's great, isn't it? Don't we like, hey, look at all this like energy I'm like generating. It's just like, what am I directing it towards? Okay, so for all you like little overachievers out there who actually get like a real sense of accomplishment and satisfaction from doing, from efforting, like, oh, I really like pushed myself in that situation. I stretched the rubber band. I really like saw where it could go, where I could go. I'm not gonna take that from you. Like, no, stop trying to like rob yourself of that. That like, and it's not your fault that like you've been told that's what life is about, essentially. Instead, I'm just gonna say like, what if you are this like this highly like finely tuned laser with so much energy and so much like good, potent, like healthy, beautiful energy, and just no one taught you how to redirect it, how to alchemize it, how to transform it to something that is more beneficial. Okay, so instead of like trying to like smother that stress or whatever it is, what if you take that and instead you get interested in just like turning that attention, that like hyper vigilant attention, and you're like, I'm gonna take all of this, I don't know, I know some people have a problem with the word energy, but I'm gonna take this energy, right? Or like this amount of focus, or this amount of commitment, right? Or this amount of like you're just so committed to it, aren't you? And instead I'm gonna say like, what if I take this and I just like really ask myself to use this towards being kind to myself right now? I'm not trying to diffuse it at all. I'm just gonna say, what if actually this is best spent being really, really kind, encouraging, and compassionate to myself right now? What if that's how it's best spent? And that might be hard. And guess what? We like hard things. That's exciting that it's hard. That means like, oh, we're really doing something different, aren't we? Lean into that. Great. That's hard. That's hard for you. Okay. Wow. Then you're like really doing something in that moment, aren't you? You're like really breaking the pattern, aren't you? If you're so used to beating yourself up. All that energy you normally spend beating yourself up, I don't need you to like stop doing that. In a way, because you're like so good at being hard at your hard at yourself? What is it? You're so good at being hard towards yourself. And it comes so unnaturally for you to be kind. Guess what? We're gonna like punish ourselves by being really, really good. And it's gonna be like, what are you doing? And we're gonna do it anyway. Or if you're so used to like your energy or your focus being like diverted a million different ways, and you're just like bing, 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 I have all this stuff to do, this like urgency, this siren call going off in your head of like, no, no, we have to do this. Like, what if you just transform that and it's like, what I have to do now, what I have to do now is center myself and focus and be present. I have to. So I have to like, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm using it. I'm harnessing it to what actually is useful. I'm not trying to get rid of it. I'm not shaming it. I'm not blaming it. I'm not judging it. I'm like, oh, we had like some really great stuff going on. And we're going to use it to our benefit. I'm just going to take all this and I'm going to center it on like what's most important at this moment in time. What do I most need? What do I most want to experience? What if I take all this energy and I like just give myself a break for 5 minutes with the intensity of that energy? And it might be like difficult. And again, we're going to lean into that. Like being present might be difficult for you. Great. That might ask something of you. Great. Because it seems like you have a lot of excess. So you're going to go easy on yourself. And you're going to dedicate yourself to that and commit to that. And you're going to use all of that, like all of those nerves or like that anxiety or that, you're going to use that. You're going to like shape it like it's marble. Instead of letting it like go wherever it wants, you're actually going to like own it and use it for good. And if you like have I think you do this to some extent, but I think sometimes we mistake how to best use our like capacity. So you think like, oh, I'm stressed, therefore like it needs to go out like this. But what if it doesn't? What if that's just a trick? And now your work is like, I need to assume the best actually before I sit down to write. I have a million thoughts going through my head. I have all these like expectations. I have all this pressure. I have all this like despondency, maybe all this like frustration, all this whatever it is. Like I have this like history that I am like carrying with me as I sit down at the computer. And instead of being like, this needs to not be there, like, no, we're gonna take all of this and we're gonna create an intention, which is like, why am I writing in the first place? Why is this even an enjoyable thing to do? Like, really? We don't need another fantasy novel. We have enough. So why am I doing this? And there's probably some part of you that like, I enjoy it. It is fun. It's exciting. I never know. I like the planning. I think every creative act is like, I like the kind of like conception planning aspect, and then I like letting it go. Amazing. So we're gonna take all of that everything that we sat down at the computer with, and we're just gonna channel it into that intention. I just want to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this so hard. I have all this stuff to give. So I'm gonna dedicate that like a friggin' like a dedication at the beginning of a book. Guess what? All of this stuff, I'm dedicating it to this one pursuit. I'm dedicating this to like just being quiet in a room and catching my breath for a second. It's okay if that doesn't come easily. It's okay if that's not like relaxing. That's okay. I'm going to dedicate all of this into trusting so hard that despite what I might see, everything is working out and everything is fine. And it's going to be more subtle and more nuanced and more concentrated and more focused. And you're going to be so much more powerful because you will be like, it's like you have all the, like this like army of like, this army of like men at your disposal that really, really, really want to win the war for you. I don't know if this is a good analogy, but they're like running amok, okay? They're not, like, you need to like get them into shape, get them into formation, get them like on the same page so that we're all working towards the same goal, okay? So they're not like wrong. They just like don't have purpose. They don't have intention. And this applies for everything. And you don't have to always catch yourself. But anything that feels bad, again, anything that feels bad, it's like, what do I want in this situation? What do I want? What do I want to believe about myself or about like the outcome of this? How would I like this to go? And you might be feeling, and like feel your feels. Nothing is wrong. Nothing wrong is happening. But you're just gonna like give everything over to that trust, right? That you're okay. You're gonna give that over to it. You're gonna alchemize that to that new intention. So suddenly all this energy, it isn't like about feeling like the world is against you. You're gonna take it and it's like the world is for you. The world is so, so, so for me. It can't not be for me. And it's like such a gentle flip. And it's just like so unified and like harmonious with everything that you are. And it forces you to get more comfortable with like, I just think, if you think of like great masters of any skill or craft, where they really excel is they get like so specific, so detailed. It's so finely tuned, so finely tuned. What if you were to do that for yourself? You get really, really, really specific about what it is you want, what it is you're doing when you're able to catch yourself, what the outcome is. And you don't reject anything, you bring it with you. This is like, so many acting teachers talk about this, which is like, you go into it, just so you know, like this is like death for an actor, when you have this like presupposition of like what the scene is supposed to be. And you can't like, in a way you can't help but have that, but it just makes it kind of dead and flat. And you end up playing out an idea as opposed to being in it. And giving yourself over to it and discovering something. And like what's really captivating for any audience is like when you see the discovery in the moment. like it's so thrilling. It's so thrilling. So sometimes like as an actor you come in and you're like, okay, this is like a really emotional scene, or like this is about da 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 da, and you're like, in a way, you're reaching for something that isn't you. You're saying like, what I am right now isn't right for this scene actually. So I'm gonna like reach over here into my closet and just like pretend and aspire to be something that isn't genuine. But like, we want to see you. We want to see you bring yourself to this moment. So what if instead of assuming that you know what the scene requires, you bring what's going on right now? You bring what you are right now to it, rather than abandoning yourself and trying to do what you think is the better scene. The scene doesn't exist yet. It doesn't exist until you do it. It's yours. It's yours. The second you're like given that stage, it's yours. Do what you want with it. And like, yes, there's some parameters, but what if actually you're making a judgment call on like what is required, and you have it. You have like the best ingredients actually to make the scene captivating, and you're the one deciding they're not enough. So you're the one like stomping them down and not utilizing what is like readily available. And what if that's true for life? Of like every little thing you do, you're going, no, it's not working, or like, no, I don't have it, or no, I'm not enough, or no, they don't like me, or whatever it is. And you try to like squash these things down. You try to like whack them out. Either like whack them out or put on a face that somehow gets you through it. What if you don't need to do that, and you just need to like harness all those feelings into like, as much as I am doubting myself right now, I'm just gonna kind of like redirect that. What if it's working? And I'm gonna like bring that presence of like it not working, I'm gonna turn it back around to like, how is it working? What if it is working? What if I could just calm down? What if I could just be observant and present and allowing and accepting? I think a lot of this I could just sum up that like relaxing or chilling out isn't always easy, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. It might take something if you're not used to it. And if you're the type of person that is super like overachieving, needing to get things done, needing to like really perform, you don't have to reject that part of yourself. Just really perform in this new way. And really be proud of yourself for all those times that you show up in that way. I know we don't give enough validation for those kinds of things, but it is noticeable and it does have an effect. And when we meet someone that is like so settled and so like okay with themselves and okay with the moment and okay with how things are going, it affects you. You've met these people, you've like been in these meetings, you've been on these dates, you've been like, it's like, oh, I'm allowed. I'm just allowed. Like, everything's just okay. So yeah, we're gonna be alchemists, okay? You don't have to reject any part of you. We're just gonna redirect it. We're just gonna use it. Everything's useful. I don't even know. There's like something else I wanted to tie in, but it doesn't, it's like not really neat and tidy. But I also just like really, really want to offer this, that like you are probably judging yourself in all kinds of ways that you're not aware of. And sometimes the work of like overcoming limiting beliefs or something like that becomes judgmental. If you're someone who is used to judging yourself, guess what? You're gonna turn everything into that. Even like not judging yourself. You're gonna judge yourself so hard for judging yourself. Or like you're gonna judge yourself so hard for having limiting beliefs. You're gonna be like, I'm a terrible, terrible human because I have negative beliefs. And and it just reinforces this negative pattern. So strangely, if you can be like, meh, yeah, I guess I've been choosing some like not great beliefs. Okay. And you bring that quality to it, actually you might not need to change the belief at all. Like, it's okay. Or at the very least, it will make it so much easier. And the thing that I was comparing this to was like, it's just a choice, right? Like, I think we think of beliefs as these like, it's a belief. I don't know how to, like that it's like etched in stone and it's like, it's like, get it off me, get it, I don't know. That's how I feel it is. And it's like, oh no, I have a negative belief. And like, it's like there's spiders on me and I can't get them off, or like I have some disease and please like help me get rid of it. And instead I want to suggest, this really is what it's presented as. Instead I want to just suggest that it's a choice. It's just a very simple choice that you keep making because you think it's the right choice, actually, like the logical choice. And so it's like a shirt in your dresser drawer that you keep picking. And then someone's like, why do you keep picking this shirt? Don't you know there are other shirts? Like, there's better shirts. And you're like, I don't know, get it off me, get it off me. It's really as simple as like, tell me about these other shirts. Okay, so in like the way that I chose this shirt, what would make me choose that one? And what would that be like to choose that one? And it's simple like that. It's simple like that. You're not a terrible person for putting on this shirt. Okay. I feel like that, maybe that'll be the topic of next. I feel like that's just like really, 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 really something that needs to be said. And like I could, yeah, that's like a whole other topic. Because it's a bit toxic, the way that sometimes it's talked about. Hey, Stella. Very demure, very mindful. Yo, everything about this is just like, be demure, be mindful. Bye, Andres. I guess you already went. Hey, Roy. Hi, Stella. How are you doing? So what? Yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? What's going through your little heads? Favorite book? I talked about my favorite book. I'm so sporadic on social. So to answer your question, yes. Like, I have Instagram and I even have TikTok. A little. I never post on Instagram. And I have this like negative perception of it at this point. I post a little bit on TikTok. I love that. Slept very late. I slept pretty late today too. It's a painting my sister did of me. I'm allowed to have a painting of me. Do I have to fully trust myself first? In a way, yes. But I do want to take some pressure off that statement. Fully trust, like fully. This is what I'm getting at. Like everything I do is right. You're allowed to have doubt, like some doubt. You know what I mean? You're allowed to like second guess. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like trust isn't this like I have it doesn't need to be so black or white. Yes, I would cultivate trust within yourself, because if you know that like you're okay no matter what, and that you find the right people, like I don't know exactly what makes a person trustworthy or untrustworthy to you. But sometimes say like a person might have fear that they're easily manipulated, right? And so in that case, like they wouldn't be trusting themselves around others to like protect themselves. And so they might, from that place of fear, find people who seem or actually are manipulating them. Whereas instead, if you were like, I take good care of myself and I find the right people, and the people that aren't for me, like I just step away from, suddenly then like I'm able to give more of myself because I know I'm okay. And I know that people will like reflect back that way that I respect and like protect myself. They'll see that worth and that like they'll see that as an important thing to do towards you, to be trustworthy. Does that make sense? That they're gonna reflect you. So it's like I'm a person who's like worthy of being treated a certain way because I treat myself this way. They're gonna show up that way. But you don't have to be 100%. And that kind of mindset will like drive you really crazy if you have to be perfect. Like I fully trust my like, just as a guiding principle, if you're like, I can trust myself, that I will be okay, that I have discernment, that I will like listen to my intuition, that the right people will find me. I was so upset that day. But it was a good upset. I cried a lot that day. Just a lot of things were hitting me. And then I had like talks with my entire family. It was one of those like therapy days, you know? But they all went really well. Yeah. I think I was also like really upset for my mom. Yeah, I love sci-fi. Yeah, trust but always verify. Like, yeah, like trust can become toxic if like it's forcing you to abandon yourself, you know? Like I just need to trust people, but like so like I'm not allowed to ever feel like is this a good thing to do? Like, I just have to jump in blindly to everything? Like, where are you in that equation? So I think having some sense of like discernment and like choice of who I get to trust and who I select to be that, like, and that people have to show up and treat me a certain way in order for me to give that to them. Like, it's okay if it has to be a bit earned. That's okay. And as like, and that's a bit how you build trust in yourself too, is if like, you know, like, no, you know what, I have high standards for myself, and like, and I don't let people hurt me. Then strangely, it makes it a lot easier to like engage with people, because you're like, the fortress is strong. We can have visitors, you know? No, I'm not married. I haven't eaten yet. I love this shirt too. I've had this shirt a really long time. I think this is like my comfort shirt. I think I'm gonna go soon. What should I eat for lunch today, guys? Yeah, pretty much. Was I always an actress? I never really wanted to do anything except what I'm doing right now. I'm just, sometimes it can be a little hard navigating having many interests. Like, they're all artistic. But like, this is kind of related to today's topic in that sometimes I think like if one thing isn't working, I go off and I like explore another. Like, I'll go off and I'll do like a ton of music because I'm not really like happy with what's happening maybe in my writing or something. And it's a bit a way of like like sometimes it's really, sometimes I think that's really healthy, but sometimes I think it's a way of like never letting something actually like snowball, you know, to like stay with the uncomfortable feeling and not just like, fine, I'm gonna go over here then, to just stay with it and like just redirect that disappointment. I know that's weird, but it's like, disappointment is actually like really good because it means you care, it means you love it. Do I know of a way to get out of a toxic friend group? Become the most toxic one and they'll kick you out. Da, 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 da. I'm really not a fan of ditching people, actually. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work. I just think that people are mirroring you in some way. So like, don't punish yourself ever. If you don't like spending time with them, don't spend time with them. I do think like if you just stop wanting to participate in the toxicity, they'll either appreciate you and respect you enough to stop, or they'll leave you, in which case, job done. But you're allowed to have those conversations with them. Like, sometimes they're taking their cue from you. You can set the mood. You can set the tone. You can. You're powerful. If you want it to be something else, like that's what I would say. Like, what do you first of all, do you like really not like these people? In which case, why are you spending time with them? But if you actually do like them and it's just like certain things that you don't like about what happens when you're all together, like what do you want your friend group to be like? And put your attention and your focus and your energy on that, on what kind of friends you actually do want. And either the friends you have, as you're bringing that to the equation, like they'll start to give you the same level of depth that you're wanting, or new people will show up. You never share anything with anybody, which can be used against you. There are people who are like mysterious AF. And you know what? No one like has a problem with it. They're like, yeah, he's just like that. She's just like that. If anything, it adds to your mystique. Like it adds to your, oh, I don't share. So you're allowed to not share things. No one is entitled to, who isn't entitled to like your interior life. But if you have a desire to share, that's a different thing. So, do you think there's something wrong with the fact that you don't share? And being an introvert is totally fine. Don't ever share just because like you think you have to. It's gonna feel like you just exposed yourself for no reason. Yeah, so then like scammy people who don't respect you. I mean, I also just think there's like certain people that it's like they can cut through the bullshit, and people want to be good to them. People want to be honest with them. So like what level, like what are you bringing in those interactions with those people? This isn't like cultivate discernment. Like learn how to like read between the lines, and also like expect a certain level of honesty or directness if that's valuable to you, and be direct with those people. And then if they like, you know, violate whatever you've set up, then they just prove themselves to you. You know, like, oh, okay, so you step away. As much as like you're taking care of you, like you're gonna be okay. Protect yourself and show that like you've got you, like, you know, kung fu, people will respect you. Are you in the USA? No, I'm in Canada. You're a person of extremities, hard to sustain a balanced level of trust and connection. So do you mean that like you fly one way or the other? Like you'll trust and then suddenly you'll go running in the opposite direction? Because I can be like that. And I would say that's coming from a place, like, I feel like we're very alike. I just am getting this sense. And I feel like you're maybe forcing yourself to be something that you don't feel comfortable with at times. If that's like I need to trust. I heard this like all the time. Like, you have trust issues, so you need to trust more. And that's like the most manipulative. Like, if someone was like, you need to trust me, would you trust that person? Would you trust that person? Oh, okay. I guess like I have to do what you say. No, like what if you know that you have authority over you and you get to trust who seems trustworthy when that feels right? Isn't suddenly like trusting so much easier now? Like, yeah. That like, and also just define for yourself what would make someone trustworthy? What would make you feel safe with another person? What do you need to feel safe? What signs does someone need to show you for you to think like, okay, I can tell this person things, or like I can believe what they say, or they're going to show up for me. They're going to show up. And what would that be like if they prove that to be true? How would you be with them? It wouldn't be like whatever you want. It'd be like, yeah, okay, I know you will be there. I know you will be. And if they didn't, again, you wouldn't be like, whatever, I'm a doormat. It would be like, that was really weird. Why weren't you there? That's really out of character. Like, that's not a normal circumstance. Why weren't you there? I love you, Fatal. Why do they want your information? Why do they need it? You're allowed to have boundaries. Like, trust doesn't mean like, now we are joined. You're allowed to have boundaries, guys. You're allowed to have things that like you don't like or you're not comfortable with. That's part of trust too, by the way, is like trusting that someone will respect what you're not okay with. Yeah, go get ready. Say hi to your friend. You're not working. No one's working on the weekend. Oh, that's amazing. Well, that's great. I'm so glad you have such good, close friends. Okay, yeah. You guys didn't answer my question of what I should eat today. I'll probably just, no, I know what I'm gonna eat today. How do I poach an egg? I had a fancy egg at a restaurant and I want it. A good friend will respect when you say no. Pasta? Yo, I never have pasta. Pizza. Is women onto money only? Do you mean like, do women only care about money? No, we care about lots of things. Obviously. No, we just want to know that like we're gonna be safe. We're gonna be seen and loved and cared for. Like, that's why we're interested in this whole like thing anyway. Oh, did you hear that? Bucatini. Oh, fish and chips. No meat, thank you. Okay. Sorry, my stomach is saying we must go. So I'm going to go. Bucatini. I'm gonna look that up. I don't even know what that is. Alfredo sauce. Yo. I don't know if I can eat Alfredo without thinking of The Office, but like, I love me some like linguine Alfredo. Linguine? What a good noodle. Okay, I like that thick, like, I like that. I like that flat, thick. Okay. All right. I love you guys so, so, so much. You're important. You're special. You're amazing. You are powerful. You are strong. You are good. You are kind. You are beautiful. You are hot, hot, hot. You're sexy. You're gorgeous. You're all the good things, and you're always enough. And I believe in you, and I have faith in you, and I trust you. I trust that you will be good to yourself this week. Okay? And I trust that everything is in fact working out for you. Okay? I love you.